coming your way. Hey, hey, it's video of the day.
Thank you. She used her sermon to treat us like vermin. Our video of the day comes from the National Prayer Service, where Episcopalian Bishop Marianne Buddy, typical priest, used her priestly pulpit to lecture Trump about the evils of his new administration. Roll it, Gladys.
I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families. Some who fear for their lives. The people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President.
Oh, they do our dishes. Well, that was infantile. But you know, she kind of looks familiar to me. Was she once a news reporter for WKRP in Cincinnati? She later went on CNN to explain herself.
I was looking at the president because I was speaking directly to him. I was also, frankly, as you do in every sermon, speaking to everyone who was listening through that one-on-one conversation with the president, reminding us all that in the people that are frightened in our country, the two groups of people that I mentioned are our fellow human beings, and that they have been portrayed in all throughout the political campaign in the harshest of lights.
Harshest of lights? I've seen more attractive bishops on a chessboard. What did Trump think of this speech?
What did you think? Did you like it? Did you find it exciting? Not too exciting, was it? I didn't think it was a good service. No. They could do much better.
You know, though, Trump has changed. I mean, he didn't even call her ugly. So, it's a start. But if she wants to push lefty talking points from the pulpit, just wait a few weeks. Save it for Joe Biden's eulogy. Oh, we're all going to die. Jamie, so trans kids are in danger. I don't think any of them were shot in the head like the person she is basically admonishing.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was confused at a lot of stuff. She was like, I had a one-on-one conversation with him and everybody. And like, I don't know if it's one, I don't think he got to talk back, so I don't know how it's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She said she's Episcopalian?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's, you worship Joe Piscopo. It's, is that what that is?
Yeah, I think you're right.
I know Lutheran is you worship Luther Vandross, but I wasn't sure about it. I think bishops should only be allowed to move diagonally. If no matter what side of politics you're on, it was boring.
Yeah.
There was one point I saw the Jesus on the cross statue peek at his watch. And I go, this is boring. In all seriousness, she brings up like a passage in the Bible where she kind of says, like, you know, God teaches us to be merciful to the stranger. That maybe, I don't think God was talking about like vans with tinted windows.
Yeah.
And stranger danger and all these things. Like, I mean, we kind of tried that, right?
Yeah.
With immigration, and there's been some problems with it, and that's why like things have to be done. I just felt like there's like a time and a place for something like that, right? There's a time and a place to things Biden's never sure of. But I just felt like it was for sure an inappropriate time to do something like that. And if nothing else, kind of confusing and kind of like there's many, many ways to interpret the Bible. And I thought that was a kind of like a narrow way to do it.
Yeah, I think the thing is, I mean, maybe, you think about all the victims, Kat, of illegal immigrants, or the fact that legal immigrants are against illegal immigration because they waited in line, you know?
okay, so the way that he handled it, he didn't get into any of that.
Yeah.
I think that he didn't get into any of the content of anything she said. He didn't say, well, actually, how could you say this when so-and-so did this? He just said, you were boring.
Yeah.
Which I think she wanted to have a debate of some kind. I think everybody sat there, and I think she wanted to get a rise out of him. I think that she wanted to kind of go there. And the best way, I think, really to handle somebody who's trying to upset you is to just say that all your insults weren't that exciting.
Yeah.
I like that was I would say that was a masterful move in terms of handling it.
Tyrus. She didn't call him a Nazi, so that's
well. Anytime someone asks me to go to church, I'll just break this little gem out. Like, I'm not putting up with that. I'm good. I'm going to watch the game. Like, this is the problem with activists. She's an activist, and she was pretending to be a person of God. Mm-hmm. To be an activist, to sit there and say that there was gay and lesbian and transgender children afraid. The only reason why they're afraid is because of your rhetoric. You're the ones who say that the boogeyman's coming to get you. You're the ones that say they're going to put you in camps. Trust me, the one thing that Trump can't do is keep a secret. You know what I'm saying? Yep. If he had plans, as soon as that inauguration speech would have been way different, and you would have seen all these guys with nets and, just showing up. Anybody with a rainbow, get them. Like, it's just stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Your parents used to do this to us. Don't look under the bed. There's a boogeyman. He's going to get you. That's why you have to stay in bed. There's a boogeyman. There's a boogeyman. There's a boogeyman. And it's all well and fine until I finally looked under the bed, and it wasn't a boogeyman. It was her boyfriend, and I beat the hell out of him. But I was never afraid of the boogeyman after that. But that's what they do. She is responsible. The activists are the problem. They're the one trying to convince us, because the idea that lesbians and gays and trans people didn't vote for President Trump, you are a moron if you don't think that's true. Mm-hmm. They did in big numbers.
Yeah, Jamie and Tyrus both, there's something about the activist doesn't know time or place. Mm. They believe that you have to be self-actualized even when you're ordering coffee at Starbucks. It's like, I am an activist all the time, including when I'm in Mass, which is always that. I think that's the woke virus at its worst.
Yeah, and Trump was set up. I mean, this was not the time nor the place. Trump was set up. The cathedral knew this was going to happen because this bishop has done this many
Shouldn't they have vetted it
times.
better?
They should have been vetted. It should have been. They should have notified the Trump family. They should have notified other people. We had Lorenzo Sewell on, who was, by the way, the black pastor who gave the benediction at the inauguration, who was wonderful. He was in the Mass and he was appalled. He said, this is not the time. It is not the place for you to bring up politics. And when you say it's a debate, he does not have any power to debate back. Maybe at some point in time he will, but he doesn't have, that's not the right place to do that authority. It's not proper.
Well, I think tomorrow we're going to have Joe Piscopo on live to talk about if is he upset that his own church has acted so dishonestly.
You're going to need an extra chair for his hairpiece.
I think it's a weave.
Hey, Greg, I have a question. Why do no activists look like they're active?
That is a good point.
Too busy fighting the cause.
All right, up next, Trump says bye-bye to DEI.
If you'll be in the New York area and would like tickets to see Gutfeld, go to foxnews.com/Gutfeld and click on the link to join our studio audience.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.